Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at Facebook, Apple, and Amazon. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, they're free, or click down here in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders, if you're looking for a new broker, check out cobatrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Using these guys for years, best in the business. If you're an active trader, check out cobatrading.com. All right, guys, let's get into Facebook daily chart. We had 21 million on the day, $2.60 red, and about a buck, 1.44% in the red. So it wasn't a great day for Facebook. Facebook's been a little bit weaker than the rest of the market. Market's been moving up. This one kind of stalled out the other day and it's not really going too far. I think this one was another case of too far, too fast. I think we have a little bit more downside coming in this one, and possibly maybe even to this area here around the 162, but I think we can definitely get down to the 150 area eventually on Facebook. Upside for the bulls, you got to recapture these moving averages, the 50 MA and the 20 MA. Then get above this green line here, which is the 618, and then the 750 retrace up in here as well. If you get above that, maybe on a gap up, this thing could probably, do a gap and go and possibly go right back to the 191 to the 195 or double top area. If it gets back to that area, you're looking at 200, 210. If you're not short on Facebook, that's the area you want to start looking at shorting it. If you're already short Facebook down in here, make sure you're protecting it. And let's see if we could get the next wave down, which I think we're consolidating inside this red bar. We're above these moving averages, guys, and we're kind of out of the woods. Then I want to see some follow through on some more volume if you're bullish. Bearish, you just want to stay right here, consolidate, let the SPY and the IWM and the Q start to come in, and then this will come in with it, guaranteed. Let's look at the weekly. Same thing with this one. We had a nice pullback. We're still below the 20 MA, though. A lot of the charts got back above. This one's below. We had a nice, this was for weeks, guys, weeks and weeks, and this thing should take off like no tomorrow from this bullish consolidation. It's a little bit of a weaker pattern. I'd rather see it kind of a wedge come down and then move up. So they're trying to get this thing higher and higher. We're still in this range, still holding that, but we're back below the 20. Right now, it's still okay, guys. But if we get more sideways action below the 20 and it starts getting below the lower trend line here, then we'll look for lower prices. And I still think we come right here in about 150 area. Then we'll see what the markets are doing and what have you. You saw what happened last week. We get those big pullbacks. The next thing you know, we have a $2,500 or 2,500 point pullback on the Dow, and everything's tanking. So I still think on the weekly, the 200 MA is going to be the target. This will keep curling up, but eventually we will get there. Just depends where that thing is when it does. So watch for that. All right, Apple. Apple had a great run. They had to get Apple up, save Apple, save the world. That's how it usually works. A couple of years back, Apple went up, markets would go up. Apple goes down, markets go down. So it controls the overall market. It is one of the biggest stocks, or is the biggest stock in the world. But right back into big resistance here with the 50 MA, could not confirm above it. You're actually into the 750 retrace from this high to this low. This is a Fibonacci, guys. This would be the going down, actually going back up from this level, the 250, 382, 50, 618, and the 750. Those are the big ones that I usually use. We're back above all the MAs, but we're into good resistance. We talked about this, and we had a gap that we filled yesterday. So big resistance here. I think we get more consolidation, possible move up. If you're bullish, then you're looking at the 176 to the 180 area double top. And if that gets going, guys, this thing could, the 185, 190, possibly to 200, maybe. First steps, we got to get through this overhead resistance, and then we'll see what kind of a pattern sets up into the higher area. If the markets do pull back, like I said, the SPY, the IWM, this will not go higher. This will drag just like the rest of them. So great bounce on this one. Had a great trade on that as well. And let's look at the weekly. That was a great bounce. They had to get Apple going, though, especially to save the Dow, too. So we come off the 50 MA. Look at that 750 retrace coming down. Great support down here. Almost filled the gap. That would have been even better. Pop goes the weasel right back up. We're right back into some big resistance. as we had great support down here, whatever, a week ago or what have you. So watch for that. We're still inside these 3 red bars, which we had some pretty good selling. See how we went up on lighter volume? That's why, if we didn't have these big red bars, this thing would be at 185, 190 right now. So let's see what happens. And then you have this consolidation before it failed. So you have a lot of overhead resistance up here. Let's see where we close next week. Bulls, you want to close at the all-time highs next week, then possibly higher prices. Bears, you want to see this thing just kind of stall out here, kind of maybe even do a retrace. If it comes back here into the 50 MA again, you might want to get out. This is a slight bullish pattern, but if this big green bar, if a bar comes in and goes right down and closes below this, fills the gap, then we're going down lower, guys. I still think Apple's going to 121. So height 200, lower prices 121. If the market's dump, we'll definitely go down to the 200 MA on the weekly charts. And this one had what, 40 million on the day? It was down a little bit, no great shake. So Apple, still a good stock, guys. It is Apple, but beware. Remember when this was at 700, we went down to 350. So doesn't mean because it's Apple, doesn't mean it won't go down if the markets sell. And I think we still have a little more selling in the markets to come. All right, let's look at Amazon. Amazon, same thing. This was down. This had a nice little fade today. Let's go to the 10-minute. Yeah, if we open the 10-minute chart, this is the 20. Let me change the time. So we opened up higher, we faded, we got back up almost to the highs again, and then we faded again. So we ended up $13 down, or 0.89%, not even a percent down. But yeah, just couldn't get going. They needed to get Amazon going to get the Qs going, and just a lot of the tech stocks just kind of fell flat on its face. Tesla was up a little bit, but yeah, that's what I saw today in a lot of these big names here. Let's go to the daily. The daily, though, I mean, look at this rip. We hit the 50 MA. We come into some support from this little bit of consolidation. You have this bottom trend line here, and boom, it just takes off. 1, 2, 3, 4 days up into where the beginning of the selling started, though, which is going to be even more. So if we had selling, with candles like this, and now we're going up with non-candles, on the daily, you're going to need more than that to push through here, because all the bag holders that were up in here, they're starting to become sellers. The next thing you know, you get the stall out. So bulls, you want to stay above the 20, the 50, and the 200. You want to consolidate sideways for the next week or so. Have the 20 curl into price and then power this thing up. Like the lawnmower, guys, right up through the 1490, 98 area, and then 1500 and so on and so forth. If it can get some good volume, good action pushing into that, it needs to have some consolidation to get this coil going. I wouldn't even mind a nice little retrace back into the 20 and then the pop. If it does not get that pop and comes through these candles here, then we're going right back to the 50. And honestly, guys, I still think we're going down to the 200 MA on this one too. Haven't touched it in a while, and it's overdue for a nice pullback, guys. So be careful if you're long in any stocks right now. If the SPY and the overall markets pull back, everything's going down with it. So you still have great support down here. Don't get me wrong. It's going to take a little more than a couple days, but you saw the destruction that the markets were doing in those 3 days. Imagine if we get another 4 or 5 days of that, and they're even bigger drops. I mean, this thing took us to 1264. Next thing you know, we're at 1078. So beware of that, guys. Not to scare you. Still okay. Still above the MAs. Weekly chart, same thing, but getting a little bit stretched. I think my first target would be around 1,200 bucks. You got great support. That's where it could bounce. But if it does not bounce on this support, we will be going down to 1049 and then possibly lower into this area. If Amazon ends up at 1,900, I will be a buyer with both hands for a small bounce. I still think if the markets ultimately get a bigger correction, Amazon could be in the, I'm going to say 800, 900 range, maybe a little bit lower, but we'll have to see where the 200 MA is when this thing, or if this thing comes down. So watch for that. I still think the 200 MA on the weekly chart on most of these stocks, the Facebooks, the Apples, that will be your target if the markets have a nice pullback. So that's it. Not to scare anybody, but that's how, you got to look at the stuff. When these markets go up, staircase up and an elevator down, you got to watch out for that. I mean, look at the XIV. Not that completely different vehicle, but who would have ever thought, guys? And Amazon, guys, a little bit stretched from here. Weekly close, still okay. You know, we're above the 750. Let's see what happens in the following week. It's got to either consolidate up here for the next move, let the 20 MA come into price, or if this thing comes right back down, guys, expect lower prices to come. So just watch out for that. But again, the XIV, guys, before we go, we're going to go into one more. Where is this thing? Wow, just $6. It's not doing anything. What a clobber job. But just think, though, guys, if you're in this thing for 5 years and you made all that money, look at that. They just took it all in 3 flipping days. Unbelievable. All right, guys, but that's the meaning to staircase up, elevator down. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by, watching my videos, and hopefully I'll make a couple more weekend updates over the Saturday, Sunday, and get a couple more charts out there. I've been getting some emails on a couple other names. Hopefully I could get some time to pump those out this week. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like it. And again, thank you very much. God bless. See you on the charts.